Hello and welcome back to the Natural Wellness Tips podcast. This is your host, Dr. Jennifer Shaw. I am super excited to be with you here today. And today we are going to talk about standing in our power. And God, this is such an important topic right now. I'm so excited. So if you guys have not subscribed to the show and you want to stay in touch, so you know when I drop new episodes every Thursday, go ahead and do that. Head over to Instagram, Natural Wellness Tips, say hello. I love to hear from you. But let's talk about standing in our power. So much of our lives is taking steps to make other people comfortable, often while abandoning our true selves. Even if you are stubborn and super strong-minded like me, this can be the case, specifically in like certain relationships, especially if it's a pattern you easily fall into. So today I want to dive into my beliefs around why this is so and how to break free, actual steps that I'm going to give you to stand in your power. So in order to go into this topic, I need to kind of back up a little bit and go a little bit into my childhood so you can understand some of my patterning. So growing up, I was one of 3 children in a very loving family. But like any family, nothing is perfect. And I was always taken care of. I was always provided for, right? My physical needs were always met. Like I want to express that. Like my parents did the best they could, right? And they took very good care of me. However, we all have our own perceptions of situations. And my perception as a child, and even now as an adult, was that I had to, or have to even still, work, change myself, fit into a box to gain the love and acceptance of one of my parents. And my perception is that was not the case for my siblings. And I'm a middle child. So y'all out there, can be like, oh, middle child syndrome. That's cool. It doesn't matter, how anybody else looks at it. It's how you look at it, because that's what frames your future, right? All I have is my perception and my experience and how that formed my mindset. And therefore many of things that happened in my future past my childhood, right? And I fully understand that others in my family may not feel the same way. And I respect that. Each of us had our own experience. However, you'll see as we continue, like why this background is important and why I wanted to share that with you. So I learned at a young age that love was conditional. If I was quiet, if I was well behaved, if I kept to myself, I was lovable. But that wasn't me. I was always loud, outgoing, inquisitive, even at times a bit demanding. I was always into things. I was a large and in charge child. I was loud. You knew I was a present. Some of those kids, you're like, oh, I didn't even know the kid was in the corner. Not me. You always knew I was in like the same house as you, not even happening to be in the same room. I was a loud kid. I am a loud person, right? And I am fully aware of my flaws and strengths and continue to learn more about myself each and every day. And that's how I evolve, right? Like that's the beauty of growth, is knowing that none of us are perfect. I'm doing the best I can with what I know now. I did the best I could with what I knew then. But I felt and still feel that I have to check certain boxes in order to get the love from one of my parents. And that is a really hard conditioning to break yourself free of, right? So let us just keep going and talk about what this did for me. I learned at the core that my personality was flawed. So I learned that I was flawed and I needed to adapt to be worthy of love, which means I learned in my core that I was truly unworthy. Are you nodding along with me? Right? Does any of this sound familiar? So now you go into school or college and you're worried about fitting in, you fall in love, you fall out of love, you have this best friend in 3rd grade, and then you guys are in different classes in 4th grade, and all of a sudden they have a new best friend. And this just feeds your belief that you're not worthy, you're not enough, when really none of that's true. Everyone's trying to figure out who the heck they are, and everyone has different situations at home. Again, even if your parents are completely loving and provide for you, there can be emotional wounds that can shape how you evolve in life. So as we grow up, this feeling of unworthiness is ingrained in us. And then we don't trust our own thoughts, opinions, choices half the time, right? So for me, this really came to head when I was in a 9-year relationship that I've discussed many times in this podcast, that I knew wasn't healthy, but the patterning of trying to earn someone's love was all I knew. So in an odd way, it felt very comfortable to me. So I stuck around and I repeated this pattern over and over and over again, trying to almost basically and get to the point where I actually did finally earn someone's love, right? I was going and going and going through the pattern because I wanted to finally get to like the destination of like, I did it, someone loves me, right? And obviously we know that's not really how things work or how things go. We have to do things differently, right? So I further ingrained that my opinions were invalid. I further ingrained that I was not worthy. I further ingrained that I was not enough. And I did this over years, right? And it would have been very simple for me to just stay in that place and stay in that situation. I was comfortable, right? But I was miserable. So we need to get to a point where enough is enough. And that all started to shift for me when I shifted what I was feeding my mind. When I stopped watching TV and the news, I started reading more books. So it wasn't until I started shifting what I fed my mind, until I stopped watching TV and news and started reading more books, working with mentors who helped me break free of the patterning and see my power, that I was able to make these shifts in my life to actually stand in my power, until I surrounded myself with people who helped me feel worthy, who helped me believe in myself and my dreams when I couldn't. That was when I was able to make the shifts. That was when I was able to begin to stand in my power. And as I mentioned, unfortunately, most people don't make it that far. Oftentimes, we tell ourselves things such as, things are good enough. I have a home and a job. I don't, what do I have to complain about? You know, I'm not going to find better than this, or it's going to be so much work. Is it worth it? And honestly, we just get comfortable in what we know, and we don't even want to try to break free of this. And our opinions start to meld with the people around us and what we listen to, instead of what we truly believe in our hearts and our souls, right? So, you know, you've heard the saying, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Another saying is, if you hang out with 9 people that smoke, you're going to be the 10th. Like, it truly does matter who you spend your time with, and what they say matters too. If they're victim mentality and they're woe is me, then you're going to be woe is me, right? But if they're like, I'm in charge of my future, I make these decisions, you're going to feel strong enough to do that, right? So when I stand in my power and discuss my opinions and feelings on a situation, if I'm fully in alignment, my heart space lights up. My voice is confident. I am confident. When I discuss something where I am not standing in my power, where I'm conforming my opinions to make other people comfortable, I feel closed off. My heart space feels dark. I am not honoring myself, and it feels icky. It feels horrible. I hate it. So how do we stand in our power? And I'm going to go through a few steps here. I'll walk you through them. I have 5 steps that I've written out that kind of, when I was thinking about this, really came to mind, that I was like, these are the things I need to cover. And we'll go through them and give you some ideas of how you can start feeling confident standing in your power. The first is, you've got to clear your mind. Your mind is filled with so much clutter right now. And that clutter is other people's opinions, the news, the busy noise all around you, the radio you listen to, everywhere you turn, your phone, your social media, all of that. So you need to get comfortable being with your own damn thoughts. Spend some time each day in silence. No music, no TV, no people talking, no phone, no anything. Just be with your thoughts. Tune in to what your soul, what your heart, what your mind is telling you. And in the beginning, it might be really uncomfortable, but it also might be really helpful to keep a journal handy. And instead of just sitting with those thoughts spiraling, take those thoughts and put them on a piece of paper. Grab a journal, Write these things out. They don't need to make sense. You never need to go back and read them. You don't have to share them with anyone. You can burn them when you're done, for all I care. It doesn't matter. They just need to get out of your head and somewhere so that you can clear that space in your mind. So that's step number one. Clear the clutter. Clear your mind. The second is make your own opinions and stick with them. So ask yourself hard questions like, what's important to you? What brings you joy? What makes you feel full? What makes you feel empty? What's worth fighting for? So a big example here is medical freedom. It's worth fighting for to me. No politician knows what is best for my body. And honestly, no one knows what's best for my body but me. And this is something I'm very passionate about fighting for. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that I think everyone should make the same decision in reference to their medical choices as me. That's exactly what I'm against. We are all different and we all need to make different choices. But what I am against is anyone telling me what my choice should be, right? So I know my opinions and I'm going to stick with them, and that's all that matters. That leads me to the next step, which is be okay with other people's opinions. As long as someone's opinion is not harming you, then you need to be at peace and just let it go. You have to find a place where you can say, that's your opinion, and that's wonderful, and let it go. They have their opinion, you have yours. And if you truly stand in your power, your decision to let their opinion go will just be so easy. Their opinion won't matter, right? And then once we know what matters to us and what our opinions are, and we're not letting other people's opinions bother us anymore, we get to set boundaries. We get to set boundaries about what and who we allow into our space, both physically and emotionally. It's time to get clear on who respects you. It's time to get clear on who validates you when you speak instead of telling you that you're wrong, right? I've talked a lot about boundaries before in other episodes, and I've dove deep, but really this comes down to when you ask someone, you share something with someone, if they tell you you're wrong, I mean, I get it if like you're telling them that like the ceiling is the floor and the floor is the ceiling, and okay, you're not right? Like that's a fact. The floor is the floor, right? But if you're sharing your opinion on something, your opinion is right 100% of the time because it is your opinion, right? It is not a fact. It is an opinion, and your opinion always gets to be right. Is 100% of the time correct. You follow me on that, right? So no one can tell you your opinion is wrong. And if people tell you your opinion is wrong, then they aren't respecting your boundaries, and you need to get firm in setting boundaries. You need to get firm in who you allow around you and what you allow around you, and who you share these opinions with, how you share them, right? So it's so hard because honestly, what you need to understand is as you stand in your power, some relationships will fall apart. Some relationships will fall away. Some relationships will have to get released with gratitude. And that's okay. That's okay, because you deserve to be surrounded by people who love you, who support your opinions, who believe you are enough, believe you are worthy, and believe you are perfect just the way you are, and that you will be even better tomorrow as you continue to grow and evolve, right? So set your boundaries. And the third is be a leader, not a victim. You are the only one in charge of your future. Drop the excuses of, you didn't come from money, or, whatever hardship you had. We all have hardships, some more than others. But I promise you, if you look at history, oftentimes the people who had the most hardships make the most success out of their lives because they understand just how bad it can be. So drop the victim and let it go. You reserve the right to change at any given time. Change who you are, how you show up, what you do in this world. And you, and only you, have the power to change it. There is no requirement that you must be the same person tomorrow as you are today, or next year that you are today. So when someone tells me I changed, I say thank you. Because fuck yes, I have changed. I am a very different person than I was a year ago, than I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I am confident. I am worthy. I am enough. I am loved. I am surrounded by people who understand my power and appreciate it and help me stand in it, help me show up in it more. And that is a freaking crazy, amazing thing, an absolutely amazing thing to have that. And I have cultivated that community around me because I am a leader. I'm not a victim. Yeah, sure. Not so great things have happened to me, but they've all happened for me, and they've all changed me to be the person I am today. They have all given me knowledge and power to turn around and share with you so that you can change your life too, right? Everything has happened for me and has made me who I am. And I am beyond grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I am a leader, not a victim. Okay, so let's go through these 5 steps real quick. We're just going to summarize them. Step number 1, clear your mind. Step number 2, make your opinions and stick with them. Step number 3, be okay with other people's opinions. If you get to have yours, they get to have theirs. Set boundaries to protect yourself. Be a leader, not a victim. And you guys know that I'm not going to walk away from this podcast without telling you what oils I lean into to stand in my power. So for confidence, I grab my bergamot, which is the oil of self-acceptance. I put this, breathe it in, put it in the diffuser on the bottoms of my feet, use it in some warm water for like a tea. Spearmint over my throat, over my heart, the oil of confident speech. Those are the ones I need when I want to feel confident in my power. When I want to have better boundaries with other people and their opinions and things that are going on, I lean into On Guard, the oil of protection, and tea tree, the oil of energetic boundaries. And I place both of these over my solar plexus. I do it at least once a day. Sometimes I do it multiple times a day. But guys, use your tools, use your breath, use your oils, surround yourself with positive people, find uplifting people in your life and lean into them. But know that no one can stand in your power but you. No one can stand up for yourself but you. Yeah, you might have people that rally behind you, but you have to stand up for yourself in order for others to stand up for you. And I have been around for 37 years, and I have never seen a better time for us to stand in our power, for us to stand up, to rally, to support each other, to give ourselves the space and the energy and the time to make decisions for ourselves. Stand up and fight back if you don't believe in something that's happening right now. If you're not okay with the way things are going, change them. Be the change. And here's what happens when you rally and stand in your power and begin to make the changes. The world's going to rally around you. The universe is going to send you people that support you and believe in you and have the same beliefs and are ready to fight the same fight as you. So find your tribe, find your people, and stand in your power. Do not ever believe that you don't have a choice. Do not ever believe that you are backed into a corner, because if you are backed into a corner, you put yourself in that corner, and you are the only person that can take yourself out of that corner. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to rescue you. You put yourself in the corner. You got to take yourself out of the corner, and you are the only one that has a choice. So there has never been a better time to fight than now. There's never been a better time to rally around people that have the same beliefs as you and to love others for their different beliefs. So stand in your power. Do what you believe is right in your heart and soul, and lead with love. Because at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need more love. We need to love each other and accept each other, and we need to be confident in who we are. I hope this was helpful. Damn, I got a little passionate. So if you have questions, comments, if you're on YouTube, comment below. If you're on Instagram or Spotify, or on iTunes or Spotify, head over to Instagram, say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you subscribe, stay tuned to the show, and yeah, let's stand in our power. Namaste.